Hi everyone, so in today's video I wanted to do things a little bit different and I decided it would be interesting if I did a get ready with me whilst also doing a final HMC interview kind of video to kind of give you more tips and tricks and like share my personal experience of what happened at my interview. Yay. I am going to use mainly Essence products because I tried to do kind of like a theme. To begin with, I want to show you my skin prep, which involves a little snail mucin essence and a little moisturizer by Pond's. Make sure you're hydrated, make sure you've done your skincare. And then now that my mom wants to disown me, let's get started. I wanted to start off by reading something that I found on the HMC website. HMC would expect you to, quote unquote, have a very good command of English, have an excellent academic record including a range of academic achievements, have a commitment to a range of interests and pursuits outside academic work, and be independent and prepared to live away from home for long periods of time. A good tip, since these are skills that they have explicitly listed on their website, that is of great advantage to you to kind of include into your personal statement, because that will allow them to see that you match those things. Even if you don't completely match them, you can make yourself seem like you match them. Now to start off, I'm going to use this primer, and it is meant to be like the Glow Recipe serum, I think, something like that. Just gonna spread it around my face. So next thing that I wanted to mention is that everyone will have a different interview process, but what you can kind of generally expect is that there will be a representative from HMC and maybe somebody from a different program that is like associated with HMC. Everything that you say will be noted down by a designated person who is probably the interviewer. It's not that bad. Other than that, you're gonna have somebody to form your group. So for me personally, that was 2 other girls, and they'll kind of make you discuss between one another as well as have an individual part of the interview, but I'll get into more details right now. I'm gonna use the Hydro Euro tint. As I said, I had 2 other girls with me. One of the girls is still one of my close friends to this day, which is great because you should make friends with the people that you're interviewed with. You're not gonna know who you're gonna be interviewed with in advance. You kind of just walk into the room with 2 other people, but that's kind of what you're stuck with. As for the interview, I only had to be interviewed by the HMC interviewer, so the assist people are kind of sitting around and just noting things down. Do not stress about the interviewers being there. For concealer, since I don't have a Essence one, I'll just use the Maybelline Age Rewind and kind of just dab it over the places that I need more coverage in. Okay, moving on with the interview. I had about 5 minutes, and so did everyone in my group, to talk about ourselves, which is not like where you just have to list things about yourself. They will go over the personal little essay that you submitted, and they'll ask about that. So make sure that you've been honest in that, or at least if you've decided to, I did not recommend that. But if you've decided to take the liberty of telling a little white lie or just making yourself seem a bit more interesting, make sure that you know that lie very well, because as I told you, these people have lie detectors in them. Like, if you cannot provide enough information, they'll probably catch on that it's a lie. So just be truthful, or at least be very good at it. For me personally, they showed interest in the languages that I speak, the kind of school that I go to, well, used to go to, and the fact that I played tennis. So they asked about that, and you know, they just ask about random things that they found interesting or that you can elaborate more on and maybe you didn't in the essay, so they want to know more. Quickly gonna bronze off of camera using this. It's not a makeup video, okay? And blush up using this Technique liquid blush. I blushed my nose as well. I think it looks good. I don't know. It is what it is. So moving back to Essence, this is the glow palette that my cousin got me. Back into the interview, because that's what we're here for, right? I would say my biggest tip is to be authentic, be yourself. Do not overthink anything, because they'll catch on if you start going like, not sure. Be smart about it. If you need time to think, just ask them to like repeat the question or kind of rephrase it, but like don't overuse that power, because they will time you and they will cut you off if you start blabbing on too much about yourself. Be concise, do not overthink. It will be fine. Like, they're not there to make you or break you. They're just there to kind of see more about you and just find out bits and bobs that you maybe didn't mention or that make you special. You know, be honest about everything, because it is about you at the end of the day. Ooh, very pretty. There's gonna be the group part of the interview, in which you're still gonna be in the same configuration. You're in the room with everyone and you should be listening to their little interview part, because as I'll tell you in a second, you are gonna need to kind of get a sense of their character. In the group part of the interview, they'll fire questions at you. There's kind of like a fire question always that will differ between groups. For my group, the kind of base of the fire question was name a word that describes the perfect blank. Each one of us three would get a different thing to describe with one word. I got parent. I'll probably say like responsible, understanding, things like that. Like, you know, just make up a word. Fire away, because it's literally a game of quick fire. Like, they just want to see that you can think on the spot. Like, the people in my group got the perfect teacher as well as the perfect superhero. Whatever you can think of. It's kind of, I think, a test of your English as well, because as they said, they want you to have a good command of English. Honestly, like, they're not looking for an English major vocab. Do not overthink it. It's not that bad. I'm gonna curl my lashes. And I'm gonna apply a little lash sensational serum. This is not a makeup video, okay? Do not question me. I'm sure there was more questions in the group part interview that I do not necessarily remember currently, because it has been 2 years. So I'm a bit out of shape. What I can say is just try to think on the spot, work with your group. Do not try to take over anyone. Just make sure you're not interrupting anyone or being rude in any way. Just be nice, be polite, and everything will happen naturally. The more stressed you are, the more likely you are to kind of mess up and do little errors and mistakes. This is the mascara that I'm gonna be using today. Yay, difference, done. I don't do much to them. The most interesting question I think I got during the group stage interview that I distinctly remember, we were kind of sat beside one another, I think. Look to the person to your left. If you had to describe them as one blank, what would it be? My personal blank was, if you had to describe them as a musical instrument, what would they be? Especially as someone who does not have much interest in musical instruments, to describe somebody as one who I've known for less than 10 minutes is actually so difficult. Think on the spot. Drop the first musical instrument you can think of and just describe why that person would be that. And that's why you have to listen to their personal interview, because you can pick up on things that they're interested in or things that they do. So I kind of just said, oh, I think the person next to me can be described as a guitar. She is very bubbly and she can be both sad and like happy, because she mentioned something in her interview that kind of hinted at that. And then for her, they asked her what she would describe the person who was like on the rightmost as a plant, I believe. She ended up not taking the question, which you can do if you end up getting too overwhelmed by it. She just said that she couldn't think of anything. And then they kind of pointed at me and they were like, what about you? If you had to describe her as one flower, what would it be? And I think I said rose because of something. Don't overthink it. So I've got 4 little lip glosses, and I want to try this one because I got it yesterday. It is a volume lip gloss, extreme shine and extreme plumping. I'll see about that one. And I'm gonna do a lip pencil. This is pretty much what the interview would be. My personal interview happened right after we had the English exam, so I was pretty tired. However, I have been made aware that currently, due to COVID, this is not the way the procedure actually goes. I believe that you take the English exam online or on Zoom, and then the interview is at a different date where you go in. It's probably in January/February time. Mine was in January. That's actually a very pretty low gloss. Concluding statements. Pull through for the interview. Give it your best shot. Do not stress about it. They're just there to kind of get to know more about you and just see what you could bring into the program. Work well with your group. You're probably not going to know the people that you're with. However, just try and adjust to it. Do not overtake anyone. Do not try to show off, because that's not going to give you any extra points. Just be concise, be honest, be truthful. Gonna do a little spritz using the Hyaluronic Fix by Revolution. Okay, so guys, this is everything. This is the finished makeup look as well. I hope this video was helpful. If you've got any more questions, especially to the person that asked about it in the first place, please let me know, or reach out on Instagram or somewhere around, and I'll make sure to get back as soon as possible. Make sure you're subscribed, like, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.